All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast presented by ProspectsLive.com. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, I have Chase Harlan on of the Los Angeles Dodgers system. He just came off a month of May where he won the California League Player of the Month, and you got to look at his back of the baseball card numbers. They are incredible. So we do dive into, obviously, his hot start to the year. He's mashing in June once again. So, we do kind of talk about some things that he's doing well and what kind of changes he made over the offseason from last year. And it's quite a bit of stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we do dive into a whole lot more. He's only 19 years old and he's raking right now. So, but before I shoot to the interview, whether you watch me on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is you get your episodes, like and subscribe. YouTube channel. Please head over there if you're not watching me right now and hit the subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me, and everything is appreciated. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Chase Harlan. All right, Chase. We're coming off I know we're halfway through June, but you had a fantastic month of May. You continued it into June, so that's exactly where I want to start. How are things going for you so far at the plate this year?
Yeah, everything's going pretty well. I put a lot of time into hitting in the off season. I kind of readjusted my approach a little bit. I had a pretty big swing change, and a lot of that came from just things that I noticed last year, especially towards the end of the season when I got sent out to low A, of things that I wanted to improve going into the next season. One of them was pitch selection, and another one was trying to lift the ball more consistently. Last year, it took me a while to figure that out, and there were some moves in my swing last season that kind of limited me from doing that. So over the off season, we kind of dove into it a little bit more. And really the biggest thing for me is I wanted to do something with my swing that I felt most comfortable with. And whatever I was most comfortable with was what I was gonna roll with. So I kind of messed up a little bit or messed around with the setup a little bit. And then finally came to a final result of standing a little taller, having a little bit more of a leg kick to help with my timing, and then kind of just maintaining that all throughout the off season. So from a stance aspect, everything has been going really smoothly. Kind of just been maintaining my swing and figuring it out as I go, especially as we get through halfway through the season now. Like body's a little bit more tired. So just maintaining that and figuring out, how I can maintain my swing while also being sore from how many games that I'm playing a week. So everything's been great on that aspect. And then approach wise, that was something that I also kind of adjusted a little bit. Last year, I was kind of just getting used to pro pitching and seeing guys who are older than me and guys who have better stuff than what I saw, especially coming from high school. You don't really see it too much. So last year was a whole adjustment year, and now this year I'm used to everything. I'm used to how the system works and all that. So just getting that plate discipline a little bit better has helped me a lot, and pitch selection and swinging at better pitches and kind of being more disciplined at the plate. And it definitely helps me out a lot. And during spring training, I actually got the chance to speak with Chase Utley a little bit. And that was someone for me who I grew up loving him as a Phillies fan. So I talked to him a little bit about his approach, and he told me that he used to draw like a line between the shortstop and the second baseman, and he would think of it as like a field goal post. So he would try to pepper the ball through there. And I asked him, I was like, yeah, like you hit a lot of homers too. Like, where did
Yeah.
that come from if that's your approach? And he was like, well, the homers will come. If I stick to that approach, then I know that my swing will just stay consistent enough to just put the ball through there. So that was something during spring training that I kind of messed around with a little bit. And I started doing it and I started seeing pretty good results from it. And I started hitting a little bit more homers. So it's something for me that's just, it's simple. And I think for me, simple is better. I try not to overcomplicate anything. So, He really helped me a lot with it, and I've been rolling with it, and it's been paying off a little bit this season.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me that you go through all of these changes with your swing so early on in your pro career. Do you find that like an advantage, maybe that you are kind of attacking a lot of these swing changes and things with your swing compared to at such a young age and with not much pro time, or do you find that as a disadvantage of like, hey, I just got the pro ball. There's a lot of things going on right now, a lot of new stuff, and then you have that on top of it. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think that it's definitely an advantage for me. I am a big swing guy. Like, I love looking at video of people's swings, especially big leaguers. Like, there will be some nights where I will literally just do a true media deep dive and I will literally go and look at everyone.
I
Um,
love that.
so I'm a big, like, I'm not like a huge analytical guy, but I love watching video. So I look at different moves that successful big leaguers do, and I try to kind of copy that into my swing a little bit with my own touch. So figuring that out at such a young age has helped me a lot. I actually do like some swing breakdown stuff on social media that I've done in the past on TikTok. So I love it. I love hitting. Like, I just love it. Like, when I'm done playing, I would love to be a hitting coach. So I think it's definitely an advantage, kind of just knowing myself and knowing where I came from and how much progress I've made. So I think figuring that out early on has definitely been a really big advantage for me.
I know you had mentioned, Chase Utley earlier. Obviously, you're not exactly what Chase Utley was when he was, but you like looking at guys' swings. Like, who are you looking at right now? Like, I guess talking about current big leaguers, like who are you looking at right now that's like, hey, that guy, like, I would love his swing, or like he's got the best swing. Like, who are you looking at?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I specifically will look at one guy and be like, I want to do that. It's
Okay.
more so like I'll see a video of someone like on Instagram or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, that looked nice. Like, I want to see what that looks like from an open side angle. I will love watching Harper swing. I think that he's got a really, really good swing. I think Acuna's got a really clean, smooth swing. And then you look at guys who have a little bit different of a hitting approach, like Aaron Judge, and just kind of seeing how they move and the certain movements that they do in their sequencing and all that. It's really cool to look at for me, and I love just looking at it. But someone who I wouldn't say try to replicate, but someone who I definitely look at in their sequencing is Harper. I grew up a Phillies fan, so I watched a lot of him since he signed with Philly. So just watching him play a lot and kind of watching a lot of video of him and just seeing how he moves. It's really cool to see. So I love watching Harper swing.
Yeah, I will admit, I know he's having a fantastic year in Philly this year, but a guy whose swing I saw in high school down in Georgia, Brandon Marsh, and I thought he had
Yeah,
one of the best
he
swings I'd
does
ever
have
seen
a really
for,
good swing too. Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah,
guys on that team who have pretty good swings who I look at. Like, when I was in high school, I tried to do more of like a Stott swing when he had his open stance, and kind of was like really simple and didn't have much movement going
yeah.
on. So, yeah, there was a lot of guys like on that team just from watching them where I would like be like, oh, like I like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating that you're kind of built this way because I mean, you're a young guy. I mean, compared to me, I just hit 30, so I'm starting to feel a little older now. But you're only 19 years old, and you kind of feel. I feel like I've talked to a lot of guys over the years in minor league ball, and I kind of feel like I'm talking to a guy that maybe was a third year guy in college and got drafted and things like that. So kudos to you for that. Do you, and I don't know if you ever looked on Baseball Reference, but it always says like the age difference to your level, and it still says you're over 2 years younger than the average person at the level you're at right now, which I think says something. So I think for yourself, like, how do you feel like in pro ball so far? Like, is it was it overwhelming at first? Have you kind of gotten over that? I guess how are your feelings towards like everyday, like day to day pro ball?
I think last year was definitely a big adjustment year for me, like I said. Like, when you get drafted out of high school, everything is very unknown. You kind of don't know where you stack up with a lot of the guys. Like, kind of only just see video of things before you get drafted, and then you get thrown into it right away. So I honestly, for me, I got surgery when I first got drafted, so it was kind of like a slow build up. And that was very hard for me. There was a lot that I had to go through to get to where I'm at now, and it came to strength, just getting healthy and trying to stay on the field every day. But I feel like my age and who I'm playing against, all the guys who are older than me, I feel like I'm in a good spot, and I feel like I'm stacking up well against these guys. Like I said, like I have never been exposed to really any of professional pitching or like top prospects. Like I grew up playing summer ball like on a local tournament team, and we would just go to local tournaments, and the competition there is good, but it's like it's not the top of the guys who are going to get drafted out of high school. So like the only time that I was exposed to it was when I went to like area code games and East Coast Pro. And that was like the only like little snippet that I had of professional pitching. And there's some guys who I face there who I face right now. Um, so yeah, I think that I stack up pretty well. I'm pretty confident in where I'm at and the work that I've put in to get to here. So yeah.
So, I could read you off the back of the baseball card numbers from this year. I feel like you probably know like what you're kind of doing right now. Obviously, you just came off a Player of the Month for May. I mean, you had an OPS over 1100. You got one over 1,000 this year. So, how does one keep that momentum going? I guess like do you do anything differently just to be like, I got to keep this train rolling and like it just keep producing a month on month? Like, how does one keep that going?
Um, I just stick to what I was doing in the off season. That was one of my goals that I had going into this year was just to maintain and not change anything because I was in a really good spot when I left to go to spring training. So I remember saying to one of my coaches who I work with at home, like, I'm gonna write all these notes down of how I feel now, and when things start getting out of whack during the season, I'm gonna go back to it and I'm just gonna look at how I felt when I was at home feeling really good. So my routine in the cage and just swing wise has been the exact same since I left to go to spring training. Like all throughout spring training, it was the same three drills. Now it's the same three drills. So when I start feeling out of whack, I will call my hitting coach back at home, who I work with. He's based out of New Jersey and New York. So we have an app, and I basically just have a bunch of notes and how I feel. And then I have past video of when my swing was like felt really good and when it looked really good, and I knew that it could play during a game. So I kind of just go back to those notes. I'll look at old video of when things were going well. So that's really helped me maintain is just like a little thing, like just jotting a note down when you feel good or like something that clicks in the cage, just making sure you write it down. So, like I said, when things go out of whack, you can just go back and look at it. So that's something that's helped me out a lot. And just maintaining my swing because I trust my swing. And then my approach is the same, and I try not to overcomplicate it. So every day I'm just going into the park and doing the same thing that I've been doing. And it's been helping me out a lot.
I like that. I like the remember the good times, and then when you're down, it's like I always see those guys like, like record themselves like, hey, remember how I feel in this moment. And it's like I kind of get why they do it because it's like when you get
Yeah,
down, it's like you can be where you were, like how you felt when you
exactly.
recorded that. So
Yeah. And
I
it's
don't
hard.
I don't hate
Sometimes
that.
it's hard to when you're in that little hole, it's hard to get out of it, and just having those little key things that can help you burst out of it is really helpful.
Yeah, and it probably prevents you from snowballing. Say you go 0 for 5 one day, it's like then you
Yeah.
might follow it up maybe 0 for 4, and you're like, okay, like before I
Yeah,
start
that's
snowballing here, I like that.
yeah. Yeah. It's like it's kind of just catching on to it early before before you go into the cage and you're like, "Oh, I need to get hits. I need to do something different." Like it's not that you need to do something different, it's that you need to go back to your old self. So,
No, I like it, man. I think I appreciate the hell out of that answer. So that's good stuff. I did want to ask one quick question. Obviously, we've talked a lot about your offensive approach, and obviously the numbers speak for themselves. But I did want to ask about defense and playing third base. I just wanted to see like how you're feeling this year at third, like how comfortable you are. I guess how are things going for you defensively?
Yeah, defensively has been very up and down for me. It's something that I've been working so hard on. I came from a cold weather place in high school, obviously, so getting real defensive work during the off season and
It's
even
tough.
during the season, it's hard. Like it's really hard. And my whole life, basically until I was maybe 15 or 16, I played shortstop. So that was the first position that I was comfortable with. That's what I played all growing up, and then I kind of grew out of it, some people say, and then they moved me to third base. So I still feel like I'm learning the position. I feel like every day I'm getting better. I am very lucky to be in the organization that I'm in. We have all the coaches in the world here that help me with the fielding. I mean, when we have a home series, we're doing our routine every single day. Even away, we're doing our routine every day. Just a little things that will help me get better every single day. It's been helping out a lot, and I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable there the more innings that I play there. But I do feel like I'm getting better, and I feel like I'm getting better in a way that the numbers aren't showing. Like I still have a lot of progress that I can make. But just getting out on the field every day and getting reps is the biggest key for me. So I do feel like I'm getting better at it, and I do feel like it's a position that I can stay at in the future.
Yeah, I feel like people might downplay. I mean, maybe the casual fan doesn't really truly understand how hard it is to adjust from shortstop to literally third base. You're still on the same
Yeah.
side of the diamond. It's just you're going a different direction half the time. It's definitely a challenge. So yeah, kudos to you for being able to pick that up right when you turn pro and kind of learn that new position on the fly. Um, but I had a couple random questions here before I let you slide, and I did want to ask. I have a ton. I'm pretty active on Twitter. I'm not sure if you're a big Twitter guy, but there the card community is absolutely
Mhm.
it's insanely big, and you obviously were part of the Bowman drop. I guess your first year. Is it still weird to like think that people collect your cards? Like, how do you feel about that?
It is weird. I think sometimes it's a little overwhelming when you're trying to do something after the game and guys are coming up to you asking you for your
Yeah.
autograph. And then you kind of have that in the back of your mind, like these guys just doing it because they actually care. Are they going to sell my card? So it's one of those things where I try to sign people's cards. Obviously, I'm not going to sign every single one. But yeah, it is very weird. Having to do that. But it's cool. I do enjoy it. I try to collect my own cards too. So one of the things is when I see a card collector, I'll kind of go up to them and be like, "Hey, like, could you help me out and get me this card?" Because I don't have time really to get into it
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole lot. My little brother is a big card collector, so he gets into it a little bit. But I love collecting my cards and then all my teammates' cards and then past teammates that I played with before. I think just getting that is really cool, especially like their first Bowman card. I enjoy it. It's cool.
Yeah, I was mostly like, it's got to be interesting. Like, it's almost just like playing MLB The Show, like with your real 99. And it's like, wow, like
Yeah,
I'm in a video game I probably grew up playing. It's like,
yeah,
you all of us, I feel like maybe you, maybe, I mean, as a kid, I collected the hell out of a bunch of baseball cards. So it's like, gotta be weird, like seeing yourself on there and
it
autographing it and people
is.
actually want it. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy. It's cool though. I like it.
Yeah. But all right. So something I had to ask, because obviously you are a long way away from home right now. I mean, I know you call, Philly and the Jersey area home, I guess, in the off season where you grew up. So being out in California, you're kind of far from home. So I do want to ask, what is like a couple things you miss the most about being home, like that you can't get out in California?
Um, yeah, it is far. I
Yeah.
would
A
say
couple
number
time
one,
zones.
just yeah, that's the hardest part is the time zone difference, especially because I have a lot of people at home who like to follow along with my journey, and it's hard for them to watch games because they start at 6:30 here, and that's 9:30 on the East Coast. So, just knowing that they're watching, it's really it's a good feeling, but I know that it's very hard for them to watch. So that's one thing that I kind of miss is being on the same time zone as them. And like another thing is just being at home, being with your family, and being able to see your buddies. Like it's hard for me when I go home in the off season to see my buddies because they're all in college. So
Yeah.
They're kind of all home right now. So it's not that I'm sad that I'm missing out on it, but like there are times where I'm like, dang, like it would be nice to kind of be a normal 19-year-old and be able to see them sometimes. But I'm very happy where I'm at, and I enjoy playing every day, so I'm not really complaining much at all. But I do miss the Jersey Shore. I do miss that.
Underrated
Um,
spot.
yeah, it's my girlfriend has a beach house there. So I miss going to that spot. I'm gonna go back home during the All-Star break and literally just spend my time at the Jersey Shore, which I'm very excited for. But I miss being around that, and I miss being around the people of Philadelphia, New Jersey. It's definitely a different lifestyle around there. A lot more faster paced out there. People are a little different, but I love it. I love where I'm from. I think that's eventually where I would like to end up in the future. So
I'll tell you one of the most underrated places in America to go, like just visit and see it, is Cape May, New Jersey. That place
yeah,
is
it's
incredible.
awesome.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, the Jersey Shore is awesome. I do miss being around there. I mean, the beaches here are great, but I always say it. There's nothing that compares to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot. So that is obviously I guess you're kind of ready for the All-Star break here to come up so you can get out there.
Yeah.
All right, I got one question left here, and you kind of already mentioned a little bit, but I did want to ask just to see if there was anything else here. So like I asked you earlier if you were maybe golfing on the off day, but you said you don't like to do that. You like to just chill. So if you're not like at the cages, you're not like at the field, you're not on a bus ride to the whatever city or away, like what are you doing in your free time? Like how do you spend that whenever you truly have downtime?
Uh, I mean, I spend a lot of my time talking to friends and family and my girlfriend back at home. That's kind of what I do. That's something that I find kind of peace in is just talking to loved ones. So they give me comfort, but other than that, I gotta get rid of my phone. Like my phone is becoming a problem. Like I literally will just scroll all day.
Yeah.
So I've picked up video games a little bit more. I've been playing MLB The Show. It's because it's cool to have your own card in the game.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I've been picking that up a little bit. I honestly believe that MLB The Show has been helping me hit. I think that there is a little correlation there, and other people agree with me on
I've heard
that.
this before.
Yeah, so I've been picking that up, and honestly, at this point, MLB The Show is just something that I play to help me get better at baseball, like just pitch selection
Interesting.
wise, and I try to play it on a little bit harder of a difficulty to make it more realistic. So I enjoy it. I mean, it's fun. But other than that, like I really don't do much. I kind of just chill out. Sometimes I like being outdoors. It's just like when my body is so tired, it's just there's nothing that you really want to do other than just sit on the couch all day and watch TV. Um, but yeah, I've been watching that. I've been following a little bit of college baseball recently. But I try not to do too much baseball, and I kind of try
Yeah.
to get away from it a little bit and kind of put my mind towards other things. So
I don't think you're in the minority on the MLB The Show take because Lucas Giolito did a interview with the media in Boston a couple years ago, and he said before every single start he would pitch as himself against whatever lineup it was in MLB The Show on the hardest difficulty to learn how to pitch to the guys he was about to face the next day. And people thought he
yeah.
was crazy. People thought he was wild for that, but I guess he's
No, yeah,
not.
I think I mean, like Andy Pages is one of the best MLB The Show players in the world, and he credits MLB like how he plays with MLB The Show. Like he gives credit to
Interesting.
it. So I remember when I was at the Freeway Series, there was a stat on the scoreboard or like a little fun fact, and it said like he's in the top 100 in MLB The Show in the world. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, I'm gonna pick the controller back up and see how this
Yeah.
works. And then next thing you know, I'm like, huh, like I'm kind of seeing results a little bit here. And then my roommate, we've been playing the show together and he's raking. So I'm like, huh, maybe this is a thing here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, keep doing it if it's working, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that is funny. I mean, people literally thought Giolito was crazy, like in the media. They're like, really a video game going to help you face the Astros tomorrow, who are like, I don't know, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Chase. Well, I appreciate all the time. Obviously, I'm wishing you the best of luck going forward in 26 and hoping to finish it out on a hot note here. But thank you again for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.